Our thoughts are not just fleeting mental events. They are the architects of our reality, the invisible forces that construct the very fabric of our lives. Every success story, every failure, and every experience can trace its roots back to the quality and direction of our dominant thoughts. The mind works like a garden, and the seeds we plant are our ideas, beliefs, and assumptions. When we nurture positive, focused, and ambitious thoughts, we cultivate a reality that reflects growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Conversely, if negative, fearful, or limiting thoughts take root, they manifest as obstacles, self-doubt, and stagnation. Understanding the immense power of our thinking is the first step toward mastering this strangest secret, the principle that what we think about, we become. The brain operates on patterns and repetition. Neural pathways strengthen with each thought repeated, making certain beliefs and attitudes habitual. If a person continually entertains thoughts of inadequacy, failure, or limitation, those neural circuits deepen, and the subconscious mind adopts them as truths. This subconscious programming then directs behavior, often without conscious awareness, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The stranger the secret is that this process works in both directions. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts and repeatedly focusing on them, we can rewire our brains to support the outcomes we desire. This dynamic highlights the extraordinary influence our mental environment has over our external circumstances. The relationship between thought and reality is not merely psychological, but also practical and measurable. For example, athletes visualize their performance before a game, mentally rehearsing every move, which enhances their actual physical execution. Entrepreneurs and innovators imagine the solutions they want to create, cultivating a mental picture so vivid it drives action and persistence. This principle applies universally. The clearer and stronger the mental image or belief, the more likely it is to influence our behaviors, decisions, and ultimately our results. Thought, therefore, acts as a blueprint for our actions, setting in motion a cascade of responses that align our lives with our internal narratives. One of the fundamental reasons people fail to harness the power of their thoughts is a lack of awareness about their mental habits. Much of what we think is automatic, conditioned by past experiences, social environment, and cultural narratives. This unconscious processing means that without deliberate attention, our minds often default to negativity, doubt, or distraction. Cultivating mindfulness around thought patterns, observing what we consistently focus on, is crucial. When we become aware of destructive or counterproductive thoughts, we can consciously redirect our attention, nurturing beliefs that align with our goals. This practice is not about forced positivity or denial, but about choosing where to place our mental energy deliberately. The power of thought also intersects deeply with emotion. Thoughts generate feelings, and feelings motivate behaviors. Positive thoughts create confidence, enthusiasm, and resilience, while negative thoughts produce fear, anxiety, and hesitation. Since emotions fuel our motivation, maintaining empowering thoughts ensures that we sustain the energy needed for sustained effort. This cycle of thought, emotion, and action forms the foundation of personal transformation. When we control the input our dominant thoughts, we influence the entire chain, shaping habits, productivity, and relationships. Scientific studies in neuroscience and psychology increasingly validate this ancient wisdom. The concept of neuroplasticity shows how our brains are constantly changing based on what we think and do. This means we are not victims of fixed traits or circumstances, but active creators of our mental and physical reality. This empowerment carries responsibility. If our thoughts can shape our lives, then we must be intentional about the mental diet we consume daily, what we focus on, the stories we tell ourselves, and the beliefs we reinforce. This shift from passive receiver to active creator is at the heart of the strangest secret. Understanding the power of thoughts also sheds light on the significance of surrounding ourselves with influences that support our desired mindset. The people we interact with, the media we consume, and the environments we inhabit all contribute to the quality of our thoughts. Negative environments tend to breed doubt and limitation, while positive, inspiring surroundings nurture ambition and creativity. Cultivating a mental ecosystem that reinforces empowering beliefs accelerates growth and helps maintain focus on what matters most. To harness this power effectively, clarity about what we want to think about is essential. Random or scattered thoughts do not build a strong foundation for success. The mind needs a clear target, a well-defined vision that directs its energy. Without a clear object of focus, thoughts wander and weaken, making it difficult to manifest meaningful change. This is why successful individuals prioritize setting clear intentions and goals, because these act as anchors for the mind, guiding thought processes toward specific outcomes. The strangest secret, then, is not only that our thoughts create our reality, but that the quality, focus, and repetition of those thoughts determine the direction and magnitude of that reality. The relationship between thought and reality also calls for patience and persistence. Change does not happen overnight, and the brain's rewiring requires consistent effort. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, the new mental patterns we nurture demand patience and repetition. Often, the struggle is internal, a battle against old, ingrained beliefs that resist change. But the commitment to persistent, focused thinking ultimately leads to a breakthrough where new realities become tangible. This patience and faith in the process distinguish those who succeed from those who falter. Finally, the power of our dominant thoughts extends beyond personal success to influence how we contribute to the world. When individuals understand and master this secret, they elevate not only their lives, but also the lives of those around them. Thought leadership, innovation, and meaningful change all begin with a mindset shift. The strangest secret is, therefore, a universal principle of empowerment that invites each person to take responsibility for the quality of their thoughts, knowing that these invisible forces are the true foundation of every visible achievement. Taking full personal responsibility for one's life is a cornerstone of transformation and empowerment. It is a truth that often feels uncomfortable because it removes the tendency to blame external circumstances, other people, or fate for our current situation. The essence of personal responsibility is recognizing that we are the authors of our own destiny, and no one else holds the pen. This acknowledgement is liberating because it restores control and agency. It means that no matter what challenges we face, the power to change our circumstances lies within us. This mindset shift from victimhood to ownership is the foundation of success and fulfillment. Personal responsibility demands an honest and courageous self-assessment. It requires looking inward rather than outward when things go wrong. Instead of pointing fingers at the economy, the system, or other individuals, it asks us to examine our choices, attitudes, and actions. This process is not about self-blame or guilt, but about honest accountability. When we accept responsibility, we open the door to learning and growth. Mistakes become valuable feedback rather than excuses to quit or complain. This ownership of outcomes creates a mindset that constantly seeks solutions, improvement, and resilience, which is vital in overcoming obstacles. A crucial aspect of personal responsibility is the understanding that external factors do influence our lives, but they do not dictate our responses. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we have full control over how we react. This distinction is empowering. It means that even in difficult circumstances, we maintain the ability to choose our mindset, behaviors, and next steps. This inner control is a source of strength and freedom. It shifts the focus from external victims of circumstance to proactive creators of reality. Taking responsibility also means rejecting the narrative of entitlement or expecting things to happen without effort. It requires embracing the truth that success, happiness, and growth come from deliberate choices and consistent action. When we believe that our efforts directly influence our results, we are motivated to work harder, learn more, and persist through setbacks. This accountability breeds discipline and commitment, qualities essential for any meaningful achievement. Moreover, personal responsibility fosters emotional maturity. It teaches us to manage our emotions rather than being controlled by them. Instead of reacting impulsively or blaming others for how we feel, we learn to recognize and regulate our emotional responses. This emotional intelligence enhances relationships, decision-making, and overall well-being. By owning our feelings and reactions, we create space for rational thinking and constructive problem-solving. In the context of leadership, personal responsibility is even more critical. Effective leaders do not deflect blame or shift accountability. They own their decisions and the impact of those decisions on their teams and organizations. This authenticity builds trust and inspires others to take responsibility as well. It creates a culture of ownership and excellence where everyone is empowered to contribute their best. The ripple effect of one person's accountability can transform entire organizations and communities. Personal responsibility also intersects deeply with the concept of integrity. It involves aligning our actions with our values and promises. When we take responsibility seriously, we commit to honesty and follow through. This integrity strengthens self-respect and credibility, both crucial for long-term success. Living responsibly means being dependable not only to others, but also to ourselves, maintaining consistency between what we say and what we do. Another layer to personal responsibility is the willingness to face uncomfortable truths and make necessary changes. It means not avoiding difficult conversations or situations, but confronting them head-on. Growth often requires stepping out of comfort zones and making sacrifices. This bravery is born from the conviction that we are accountable for shaping the life we desire, regardless of temporary discomfort or external pressure. On a broader level, embracing personal responsibility encourages a proactive rather than reactive approach to life. Instead of waiting for circumstances to improve or for permission to act, responsible individuals take initiative. They create opportunities rather than waiting for them to appear. This proactive mindset is a hallmark of innovation and leadership. It turns challenges into possibilities and setbacks into stepping stones. The path to embracing personal responsibility is not always easy. It demands self-discipline, reflection, and sometimes humility. It can be tempting to revert to blaming others or externalizing problems, especially when under stress or facing failure. However, cultivating this mindset is a deliberate practice that grows stronger with use. Over time, it builds resilience, confidence, and a deep sense of empowerment that no external factor can shake. Importantly, personal responsibility does not mean isolation or refusing help. It means owning one's role in the process while also seeking collaboration, advice, and support when needed. Responsible individuals recognize their interconnectedness but do not relinquish control over their choices. They take ownership of their journey while appreciating the value of community and partnership. Ultimately, taking full personal responsibility transforms how we experience life. It changes the narrative from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I learn and do about this?" This shift opens up endless possibilities for growth, achievement, and fulfillment. It empowers us to be architects of our future, creators of our destiny, and leaders of our own lives. By embracing this truth, we unlock the strangest secret that success and happiness come not from external circumstances, but from the unwavering ownership of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes. Clarity of purpose is the essential foundation upon which all meaningful achievement is built. Without a clearly defined goal or vision, efforts become scattered, motivation wanes, and progress stalls. Purpose acts as a compass that directs energy, focus, and resources toward a specific destination, allowing individuals to navigate the inevitable challenges and distractions encountered along the way. It provides a sense of direction and meaning that sustains persistence and fuels passion. When the purpose is clear, it aligns internal desires with external actions, creating coherence between who we are and what we do, which is vital for authentic success. Purpose is not simply a vague wish or a passing interest. It is a deeply held conviction about what matters most. It serves as a filter for decisions, guiding priorities and helping to allocate time and effort where they matter most. This clarity reduces indecision and the paralysis that can result from having too many options or conflicting goals. When purpose is defined, it simplifies choices because actions become aligned with the overarching objective. This eliminates wasted energy on activities that do not contribute to the ultimate vision, enabling focused momentum and efficiency. A clear purpose also generates intrinsic motivation, which is more powerful and sustainable than external rewards or pressures. When individuals connect deeply with why they pursue a goal, the drive comes from within. This internal fire makes it easier to endure setbacks, sacrifice short-term pleasures, and maintain enthusiasm through challenges. The clarity of purpose transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and learning rather than reasons to quit. It creates a mindset of resilience and optimism, grounded in the belief that the effort is worthwhile because it serves a meaningful end. The process of discovering and defining one's purpose requires introspection, honesty, and sometimes trial and error. It involves asking fundamental questions. What am I passionate about? What impact do I want to have? What values are non-negotiable? These inquiries lead to a purpose that is not imposed by external expectations, but emerges from authentic self-knowledge. A purpose aligned with core values and passions is energizing and sustainable, as opposed to goals pursued solely for external validation or approval. This alignment fosters congruence between identity and action, which is a hallmark of integrity and fulfillment. Purpose also provides a framework for setting specific, measurable goals. Once the overarching vision is clear, it can be broken down into actionable steps and milestones that make progress tangible and manageable. This structuring prevents overwhelm by creating a roadmap that guides daily actions and decisions. It allows for monitoring progress and celebrating achievements, reinforcing motivation and commitment. Purpose thus becomes both the destination and the navigation system, ensuring that efforts remain purposeful and adaptive as circumstances evolve. Moreover, clarity of purpose has a profound impact on how we engage with others and the world around us. It shapes communication, relationships, and leadership by providing a consistent narrative that inspires and unites. When leaders articulate a clear purpose, they create alignment and commitment within their teams, fostering collaboration and a shared sense of mission. Purpose-driven individuals tend to attract like-minded people, building networks of support and influence that amplify their impact. This relational dimension of purpose extends its reach beyond individual success to collective transformation. In times of uncertainty or crisis, a well-defined purpose serves as an anchor that stabilizes and grounds. When external conditions are volatile, the internal clarity of why we do what we do provides calm and focus. It prevents distraction by fears or competing demands, enabling a steady course even when the path forward is unclear. This steadfastness is crucial for innovation and perseverance, as it allows individuals to adapt tactically while remaining strategically aligned with their core vision. Purpose, therefore, combines flexibility with focus, enabling sustained progress despite inevitable change. Another key aspect of clarity of purpose is its role in personal fulfillment and well-being. Studies show that people who live purpose-driven lives experience greater satisfaction, better health, and longer longevity. Purpose provides meaning that transcends momentary pleasures or material success, offering a deeper sense of belonging and significance. It connects individuals to something larger than themselves, whether it be a cause, community, or vision for the future. This connection nourishes the human spirit and fosters a sense of wholeness that enriches all dimensions of life. The clarity of purpose also challenges individuals to continuously refine and evolve their vision. Purpose is not static but dynamic, growing as we learn, experience, and mature. It invites ongoing reflection and adjustment to ensure alignment with emerging insights and changing circumstances. This evolutionary aspect keeps the pursuit fresh and relevant, preventing stagnation or disillusionment. Purpose thus becomes a living guide that supports lifelong growth and meaningful contribution. In practical terms, cultivating clarity of purpose involves dedicated time for reflection, goal setting, and honest evaluation. It may require stepping away from daily routines to gain perspective and engage in deep thinking or dialogue with mentors and peers. Tools such as vision statements, journaling, and strategic planning help articulate and reinforce purpose. Regular review ensures that actions remain aligned and that adjustments are made as necessary. This discipline fosters intentionality and a proactive stance toward life and work. Ultimately, clarity of purpose transforms abstract dreams into concrete realities. It is the secret to unlocking potential by providing focus, motivation, and resilience. Without purpose, efforts are like a rudderless ship, vulnerable to every wave and wind. With purpose, every action becomes a deliberate step toward a meaningful goal, creating momentum and fulfillment. This clarity is the foundation upon which the Strangest Secret builds a life of achievement and significance. Persistence and consistency are the twin engines that power every lasting achievement. Success is rarely the product of a single burst of effort or a fleeting moment of inspiration. Rather, it is the cumulative result of sustained focus and deliberate action over time. Persistence means continuing to move forward despite obstacles, setbacks, and failures. Consistency means showing up day after day, maintaining the discipline to keep working toward a goal, even when motivation wanes or progress seems slow. Together, these qualities form the bedrock of transformation and mastery, distinguishing those who realize their ambitions from those who give up prematurely. The journey toward any meaningful goal inevitably involves challenges. The initial enthusiasm that accompanies a new idea or project often fades when difficulties arise. It is persistence that keeps the individual moving forward during these moments of doubt and discouragement. Persistence requires a mindset that views failure not as a definitive end, but as a temporary setback and a source of learning. This resilience allows one to extract valuable lessons from mistakes, adjust strategies, and try again with renewed vigor. Without persistence, many promising ventures are abandoned before they have a chance to mature or reveal their potential. Consistency, on the other hand, emphasizes the importance of regular, repeated action. It is not enough to work hard sporadically. Success demands that effort be sustained and reliable. Small, consistent steps accumulate and compound over time, creating momentum that carries projects and personal growth forward. This principle is often seen in habits. Positive habits form the foundation for long-term success because they automate effort and reduce the need for constant motivation. When consistency becomes part of a routine, it transforms work from a series of battles into a steady, manageable process. Persistence and consistency also interact with time in profound ways. Many people expect immediate results and become frustrated when success does not come quickly. However, real progress, particularly in complex or ambitious endeavors, often unfolds slowly. This slow growth phase is where persistence matters most. Staying consistent through the invisible phase, when effort is applied but results are not yet apparent, is what separates those who eventually succeed from those who quit too soon. The power of compounding, whether in skills, relationships, or business growth, rewards those who persist and maintain consistent effort. Another important aspect is the alignment of persistence and consistency with purpose. When the goal is clear and deeply motivating, persistence becomes easier because the individual understands why the effort matters. Purpose provides the emotional fuel that sustains the difficult work required to maintain consistency over long periods. Without a compelling reason, persistence can feel like stubbornness, and consistency may falter. Purpose and persistence together create a virtuous cycle. Clarity of purpose ignites motivation, which drives consistent action, which leads to incremental progress, reinforcing the sense of meaning and commitment. In addition, persistence and consistency foster the development of expertise and mastery. Becoming skilled in any domain requires time and repeated practice. Talent alone is insufficient. Deliberate practice and continuous learning are critical. Through persistent effort, individuals encounter challenges that stretch their abilities and deepen their understanding. Consistency ensures that practice and learning are not one-off events, but part of an ongoing process. This commitment to incremental improvement is what distinguishes amateurs from professionals and innovators from imitators. The psychological benefits of persistence and consistency are equally significant. They build confidence by creating a track record of progress, however small. Each step forward reinforces self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to influence outcomes. This growing confidence makes it easier to take risks and face new challenges, creating a positive feedback loop. Conversely, giving up after setbacks can lead to feelings of helplessness and defeat, which undermine future efforts. Persistence cultivates grit, the mental toughness necessary to navigate the ups and downs of any ambitious pursuit. Moreover, persistence and consistency contribute to building trust and credibility with others. In professional settings, individuals and organizations known for reliable effort and unwavering commitment earn respect and opportunities. Colleagues, clients, and partners are more likely to invest in relationships with those who demonstrate steady dedication. This reputation can open doors, attract resources, and create networks of support that further enhance success. Thus, persistence and consistency not only serve individual goals, but also strengthen social capital. At the same time, it is important to recognize that persistence does not mean stubbornly sticking to a failing plan. Effective persistence includes the wisdom to adapt, pivot, and refine strategies based on feedback and changing conditions. This adaptive persistence requires open-mindedness and humility. Consistency likewise does not imply rigid repetition without growth. The best practitioners balance steady effort with continuous learning and improvement, making adjustments while maintaining the discipline of regular action. The balance between persistence, consistency, and adaptability is critical for sustainable progress. Those who persevere blindly may waste time and resources, while those who frequently change course without commitment may never gain traction. Finding the rhythm of disciplined action coupled with thoughtful reflection and flexibility is a hallmark of successful individuals and organizations. Ultimately, the power of persistence and consistency lies in their ability to transform potential into reality. They convert ideas into products, goals into achievements, and dreams into tangible outcomes. This transformation is rarely glamorous or instantaneous. It is the result of countless small decisions to keep going, to show up, and to do the work day after day. This disciplined dedication turns what once seemed impossible into the inevitable. It is one of the strangest and most profound secrets behind lasting success. The role of mindset in achieving success cannot be overstated. It is the lens through which we perceive our circumstances, interpret challenges, and decide how to act. Mindset shapes every aspect of our journey, influencing not only what we do but also how effectively we respond to setbacks and opportunities. A growth-oriented mindset, in particular, is a powerful catalyst for transformation and achievement because it embraces learning, resilience, and the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and experience. This contrasts sharply with a fixed mindset, which sees traits and talents as static and unchangeable, often leading to avoidance of challenges and fear of failure. At the core of a growth mindset is the conviction that failure is not a reflection of inherent inadequacy, but a vital step in the learning process. This perspective reframes obstacles from insurmountable barriers into valuable feedback. When individuals adopt this mindset, they approach difficulties with curiosity and determination rather than fear and defeat. They understand that mastery requires experimentation, trial, and error. Each setback is an opportunity to gather information, adjust strategies, and improve. This resilience is essential for navigating the unpredictable and often nonlinear path to success. Mindset also directly affects motivation and persistence. Those with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges as opportunities to stretch their capabilities. They tend to persist longer in the face of difficulties because they view effort as the path to mastery rather than a sign of weakness. This sustained effort fosters deeper engagement and a stronger commitment to goals. In contrast, individuals with a fixed mindset may give up quickly when faced with obstacles, seeing difficulties as evidence that their efforts are futile. Therefore, mindset not only influences what we try, but how hard we try and how long we keep going. Another important dimension of mindset is the role of self-talk and internal narrative. The stories we tell ourselves about our abilities, potential, and worth profoundly shape our behavior and outcomes. Positive, constructive self-talk reinforces confidence and encourages risk-taking, while negative, limiting beliefs undermine performance and creativity. Cultivating awareness of these internal dialogues allows individuals to challenge and reframe destructive thoughts. This mental conditioning aligns with the principle that success is as much about managing the inner game as mastering external skills. The influence of mindset extends beyond individual performance to interpersonal dynamics and leadership. Leaders with a growth mindset foster environments that encourage learning, experimentation, and collaboration. They model openness to feedback and a willingness to evolve, creating cultures where innovation thrives. Teams inspired by such leadership feel psychologically safe to take risks and contribute ideas, accelerating collective growth and achievement. Conversely, a fixed mindset in leadership can stifle creativity and engagement, limiting organizational potential. Moreover, mindset interacts with emotional intelligence by shaping how individuals handle stress, uncertainty, and criticism. A growth mindset supports emotional regulation by framing challenges as manageable and temporary rather than overwhelming threats. This emotional resilience enhances problem-solving and decision-making, allowing individuals to maintain clarity and focus under pressure. It also promotes a balanced perspective, preventing extreme reactions that can derail progress. Developing this emotional adaptability is crucial for sustained success in complex, high-stakes environments. The development of a growth mindset is not automatic. It requires intentional practice and reflection. It involves recognizing and challenging ingrained beliefs, embracing vulnerability, and cultivating a willingness to learn from every experience. Techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, and seeking constructive feedback help build this mental framework. Educational and professional settings that emphasize process over outcome, effort over innate talent, and curiosity over judgment contribute significantly to fostering growth mindsets. Mindset also influences goal setting and achievement by shaping expectations and the scope of ambition. A growth mindset encourages setting challenging but attainable goals, recognizing that skills and capacities can expand with effort. This optimism fuels perseverance and experimentation. Conversely, a fixed mindset may limit aspirations to what seems immediately achievable, restricting growth potential. By expanding one's belief in what is possible, mindset opens the door to higher achievement and innovation. Furthermore, mindset affects how individuals handle success itself. A growth mindset fosters humility and continuous learning, preventing complacency and arrogance. It encourages celebrating progress while recognizing that there is always room for improvement. This balance ensures that success becomes a stepping stone rather than a final destination. On the other hand, a fixed mindset may lead to defensiveness or fear of losing status, which can hinder ongoing development. Finally, mindset is deeply interconnected with identity and purpose. How individuals see themselves, whether as learners, creators, or contributors, guides their actions and persistence. A growth mindset supports an identity rooted in effort and potential, aligning with a purpose-driven life that embraces challenges as opportunities. This alignment creates coherence between who we are and what we do, enhancing motivation, satisfaction, and impact. In essence, Cultivating a growth mindset is one of the most profound and transformative strategies for unlocking potential and achieving lasting success. It reshapes how we view ourselves, our challenges, and our possibilities, empowering us to move beyond limitations and fully realize our capabilities. Mindset is not a fixed trait, but a dynamic, trainable quality that, when nurtured, becomes the foundation of resilience, creativity, and meaningful accomplishment.